For nearly 100 years now, Superman has been the gold standard of all superheroes. Beginning in the 1930s, Superman is debatably the first comic book hero, though it's possible he might have been preceded by Golden Bat, but that's a story for a different day. Superman is the standard by which all heroes are judged, whether it's Batman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, or Captain America. But sometimes the big blue Boy Scout's a little boring, and people want to see what happens when someone as big and as powerful as Superman goes bad. That's where we get things like Omni-Man from Invincible and Homelander from Them Boys. But if you ask me, evil Superman, he's a little passé. It's a little overdone, just look at Injustice. What's more interesting is disillusioned Superman. In 1996, writer Mark Waid and artist Alex Ross introduced readers to the dark future of the DC universe known simply as Kingdom Come. A future where distant and disillusioned Golden and Silver Age heroes are pushed aside in favor of then-contemporary, ultra-violent heroes of a new generation. In the not-too-distant future, Superman is confronted with the death of Lois Lane and the destruction of the Daily Planet. Much like the Injustice video games, this all comes at the hands of the Joker, but unlike the Injustice video games, Superman doesn't take the Joker's life. Instead, a new character introduced in this series is Magog, an ultra-violent hero who gets unwavering public support for killing the Joker on his trial. This, in conjunction with the destruction of the Midwest due to Captain Atom's explosion, leaves Superman completely alone and disillusioned. It's not until Wonder Woman brings him back in the fold that the story begins proper. The art of Alex Ross, especially in Kingdom Come, as well as the Marvels series, has always been inspirational and highly evocative. I've always wanted good figures of it, but unfortunately DC Direct and DC Universe didn't really provide back in the day. Luckily, in the future space year of 2023, we have unlicensed third-party companies outside of Hong Kong to provide us with all the action figures we've ever wanted. This is the VTOYS Cross BMS Return to the King 1/12 scale action figure. And I have to say, that's a very, very vague name. If it wasn't for Return of the King, you wouldn't be able to find this toy. Normally I don't really take a look at toy packaging, but I feel like this warrants a look because this is a terribly bland box. I'm a little spoiled by third-party Transformers, but they could have added a little pizzazz to this. The figure is very evidently and very clearly based off of Alex Ross's art for Kingdom Come. I would hope so, because otherwise that means I wasted a lot of money. The figure is built very similarly to the Mezco 1/12 figures, with a doll body, a uniquely sculpted head, some accent accessories, and a cloth goods costume. You get to see the white walls, much like Mr. Fantastic that Alex Ross provided Superman, as well as the darker costume, very reminiscent of the Max Fleischer cartoon from back in the day. Despite looking pretty amazing, the figure's real light on accessories. In addition to the fists, he also has these, well, grabby hands, I guess to pick up any clowns that try to take him on. He also comes with these kind of splayed open, relaxed hands, which you can get him into some poses where it looks like he's going to tackle somebody, or even some poses reminiscent of the Kirk Allen Superman of the 1940s. You can also use these hands to recreate the Superman #1 pose, which is pretty great considering it's one of the most iconic covers in comic book history. Lastly, he comes with these open palm, kind of karate chop hands. I guess you can use them to hang 10 like Snake Plissken. Seeing as he's a 6-inch scale figure, he doesn't fit in very well with the McFarlane figures, which is a bummer considering they actually put out a really good Kingdom Come Batman this year. He fits in pretty fantastically with any other 6-inch line, whether that's Marvel Legends, Mezco 1/12, or even Mafex. There's a common thought that, because of Superman's fantastic power set, that he's distant and unrelatable, much like Dr. Manhattan. But that's not true, at least not in my opinion. A lot of modern comic book writers and comic book critics think much like David Carradine's character in Kill Bill about Superman.
Kent wears the glasses, the business suit. That's the costume. That's the costume Superman wears to blend in with us. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak. He's unsure of himself. He's a coward. Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race.
And this interpretation is where we get characters like Homelander and Omni-Man. Superman is probably one of the most human characters in all of DC, because when you get down to it, he is Clark Kent. Clark Kent is a mild-mannered, good-hearted, corn-fed, bow-hunk Midwestern boy. And even without powers, Clark Kent would still be fighting for what's right. There's a reason why he never gives up in the face of insurmountable danger. DC Comics had some great stories and great characters for the Bronze Age and the Silver Age. However, my favorite era for DC truly is the Golden Age. Kingdom Come Superman takes the Golden Age hero and brings him into a new dimension. Older, wiser, and a little more pessimistic, but still willing to fight for what's right. And that's why he's the definitive Superman on my shelf.